Dabs are here at my sister Young, and welcome back to the F1 podcast. I'm joined by Alan
Hello, people.
and David.
Well, howdy!
Yeah.
So, the circuit. Is it the Circuit of Americas or whatever?
Circuit of the Americas in Cota,
Let's just call it Cota.
Texas.
Yeah.
Austin.
So, first off, I am going to begin by saying, it was such sad news hearing about the passing of Dee Dee. Or, in other words, for those who don't know who Dee Dee is, it's Dietrich Mateschitz. Basically, he was the CEO and founder of Red Bull.
Yeah, but longer back than that one, I didn't realise when they were talking. He started through Sauber and all that.
Mm.
He'd actually been in the sport a lot longer than just Red Bull.
Well, yeah, because he actually bought out obviously two companies, didn't he? Because obviously you had the main Red Bull company, and then obviously you had Toro Rosso in effect.
Yeah.
But obviously he is the CEO of Red Bull itself.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, and we're not just talking F1, we're talking Red Bull Air, we're talking the air races, we're talking the
Free diving, motocross, a lot.
Yeah, including the drinks company as well. It was just sad because was he at the last race? Was he at not Cota, but was he at?
I think he was at Japan one.
Was he at Japan?
Yeah.
I think he was at Japan because I think he saw Verstappen obviously take.
Mm.
Because I think, if I'm right, he goes to quite a few of the races. But obviously, you think of how many F1 stars he's given wings to, basically. Vettel being one of them.
Vettel.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Sainz?
Vettel, Sainz, Gasly.
Yeah.
Danny Rick.
Yeah. But
then obviously Max.
Yeah.
It's just he hadn't been well. It was believed he hadn't been well for a while, so it's gutting for them.
Did both of you see the celebrations on the podium?
No, I decided to give it side out.
There was tears.
No. Did you see somebody trying to shake a bottle of champagne that could not do it very well?
You mean Helmut Marko?
I was thinking, well, did you see the picture? Because I think Shaq was handing the trophies out again, wasn't he?
Yep.
He brought the trophy up, yeah.
And of course, the trophy in Shaq's hand just looked like a bloody shot glass.
In the Shaqmobile.
Yeah. So about Shaquille O'Neal, just he's like such a fun guy.
Yeah. But I only caught the race this weekend, unfortunately, due to our commitments.
Yeah, likewise.
I caught practice. There was nothing. P2 practice. There was not a lot going on. P2, there was the tyre test, which was just a fucking shambles.
Yeah, it should have filled up a bit though, didn't it?
Yeah, but because it's weird because people who didn't take part in P1 because of the reserve drivers driving basically got to use normal tyres. But they had to do so many laps on the normal tyres and then switch over to the like experimental tyres, as you will.
Yeah.
And there is one more tyre test to go, and I believe it's going to be Brazil.
Oh, that could be good. They might test some wets. Brazil's anything to go by.
Which is going to be a bit... If it is going to be Brazil, that's going to be a bit weird, because there is also going to be a sprint race in Brazil as well.
Do the sprint race on the test tyres.
Yeah. That'd be interesting, actually.
That'd give them some bloody data, wouldn't it?
It'd give them it'd be a proper test for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'll shake the field up a bit.
See, if you're listening, FIA, I don't charge much for consultancy. Hit me up.
It'd be Pirelli.
Yeah, but FIA get the final say on anything like that happening.
Well, yeah. There'll be no FIA rant from me this week.
Bloody hell, that's half the podcast gone.
Yeah, isn't it?
There actually won't be an FIA rant from me this week because, yeah, not really much. There's a few things to grumble about, but
Would be a podcast if there wasn't.
but
You grumble? Nah.
but you know,
No,
there's
I
not.
think one of the ones you might grumble about is the same thing that I mostly will grumble
Well,
about.
I'm not surprised. You know, and then FP3, not a lot, just usual, and then quali was just quali apart from certain people taking penalties.
Yeah,
Perez and Leclerc.
I love the optimism though. Well, if Ferrari outscore Red Bull by 19 points, with one car starting 12th, I mean, it wasn't impossible, but you were always playing a
Yeah.
very limited hand at that point.
Mm. It didn't go well for Ferrari at all.
No, when we get onto the race, we'll get onto that. And Ferrari, you know, I actually, Sainz has not had a good season.
Sainz has had a shit season.
Some of it's been his fault, but like, you can't blame Cota on him.
You can't blame Japan on him, really.
Japan was just bad conditions. It was going to happen to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and Cota, Russell did dive bomb him from about Vegas.
Well, yeah.
After seeing
Unfortunately,
the replays properly and obviously seeing it from Science's point of view, which is what I think everybody was waiting for, you know, wait to see that onboard camera from Science's car, just to see whether or not did he have some sort of involvement, basically, you know. But obviously, seeing from it, he had nowhere to go. It was either that or go to the back of the Red Bull itself.
Yeah, he had to start turning in at some point.
Yeah.
And the trouble was, Russell wasn't, you know, we go by it's the old rule that applies. If you're alongside, you're entitled to space. Russell wasn't alongside till he was in his side pod.
No. And obviously, it didn't help him battling Hamilton and locking, well, they both locked their brakes up, but he locked them up that a little bit more.
Yeah, but Hamilton had to have his brakes redone, literally, on the grid.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
I was so waiting for him to get to the first corner and not realise how the brakes were going to be and do a front flip or something. So they were a bit grabby. But then he was still complaining about the brakes during the race, wasn't he?
Yeah, because they had to completely change his brakes out.
They changed the whole front brake system.
Yeah.
Instead of only just doing one side that needed to be done, they just did both sides. Make sure that way they're completely...
That's somebody with interest in mechanicking. That's actually just good practice.
I mean,
in real life, folks, you only do brakes in your car. Always do two sets. Always do the set. Always do an axle. Never just do one.
You know, but it's what normally takes half an hour in a garage to do for them. They had less time than that to do both sides before the race, before they can be off the track or away from the car and get that car running for the formation.
But it, yeah.
And not even Toto knew about that.
Clearly not. And it was just, yeah, qualifying was just what it was. But
the race was a good race.
It was, wasn't it? It had its moments.
Yeah. One of the better races we've seen for a while, I think.
Yeah.
one of the better quarter races, at least.
I was surprised early on with the goddamn pace of Aston Martin.
Did you see Alonso jump off that line?
Yeah.
He got some traction straight away.
He always has been good.
Not
Alonso's
Alonso, sorry,
always
Vettel.
been good.
I meant
Oh,
Vettel as well. Vettel
yeah.
got some, in that Aston Martin, dude, that was
Well,
quite a change pace for them.
considering where Aston Martin were earlier on in the year, struggling to make Q3. At one point, they were running like third and fifth.
Yeah.
And I know there's a couple of cars out of place with Perez and Leclerc and that, but still, that was.
I mean, okay, to only finish with one car.
Yeah, and we'll get on to that because I'm afraid I do fully put the incident on Stroll's shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, Vettel finished 7th after some great racing.
After that last lap battle with K-Mag was something else.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? They were going at it like it was a championship decider. Absolutely amazing.
Let's kind of reverse back a bit. We're way too far ahead here.
We never stay on track.
No, but you two have just completely gone off, and we hadn't even finished qualifying.
We never stay on track. It's a bit like Chris playing the game.
Right. So yeah.
Well, let's say we never saw qualifying,
No,
so
no.
we still have to talk about it.
So qualifying was just qualifying. The start of the race. Let's go back to the start of the race. I mean, the grid was just not the usual grid that we would be used to anyways, considering the engine penalties. And then...
Well, no, I mean, Stroll was up there.
Well, yeah. And then... I mean, okay, the Mercedes did have pace, but, considering penalties, they got moved up. And the Ferraris, well, they have the pace until one didn't. I mean, you could see something that was going to happen on that first corner. You knew.
It's a very tight first corner. It's a massive wide straight that then goes into a very slow tight corner. So it does promote that kind of bunching that can lead to incidents.
And obviously, you're going uphill.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be there's always has been incidents in that first corner.
Oh yeah. And yeah, poor science.
Yeah, I fully put the blame on that one in Russell's court.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm willing to take the Mercedes fan shit on that because he just drove beside of him.
Oh no, I agree. He did, if it wasn't for the fact that he punched his radiator.
Was it his radiator punch?
Well, the punch of the radiator or broken air line in water line in the side pod.
Yeah.
It basically ended up leaking water.
So that was it. And it's just, what was George thinking? Was he trying to beat? Was he basically trying to beat Hamilton to the first corner or something?
I think they were both getting a bit punchy. They both locked brakes, and he couldn't slow it down. Simple as, whether he was trying to beat Hamilton into that corner or not. I just think it was driver error from Russell's point of view that caused it. He's gone in. He's tried to late brake. Your brakes aren't 100% anyway, even though you just done the formation lap. Your brakes still aren't where they should be, and he's just locked up. And that was it. He's locked up because if you see it, he's literally, if I'm right, his brakes front wheels are actually locked as he's going to the side of him. I mean, fair play to all the other drivers behind them for avoiding it. Hamilton being one of them, he had to avoid that completely. He went to the right-hand side to be able to make sure he didn't collide with anybody else.
But what I will say is the stewards were very quick on handing the penalty out.
Oh yeah,
They were very quick at that. I did
I mean-
notice.
Good, that's what we need him to do.
yeah. That's how
said
it's
look-
supposed to be.
Yeah, but then,
Yeah.
but later on, obviously when we get to that incident, why did they do that other one after the race?
Because that one they wanted speak to both drivers. Because you can't really, yes, you can penalise somebody, but they want to speak to both drivers, get the both drivers' point of view. For someone like that, I think that they want to talk to both drivers.
Well, especially if you sent that one car into a wheelie, yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, but even on that first lap, you know, elbows were out for every single driver. Perez being one of them.
Oh, they were going at it hammer and tongue. You could sort of tell.
I mean, Perez, he shoved Bottas off track.
That's no different to Bottas bowling.
And in process, that is damaging his front wing end plate, which, as I said to you before, I will talk about it. He did get penalised for it. Yes, in Singapore, Japan, Magnussen did. And previous races, Magnussen has been penalised for something exactly the same.
Yeah, we know. And Haas protested this thing to do with Perez, and the stewards just went no. They dismissed
Yeah.
it.
But what's the difference?
Because
You let another car, such as Red Bull, carry on with exactly the same incident as what Magnussen had. Perez was still driving for a few laps well after the incident happened, and you can still see it flapping around. And it went for a good few laps that the thing actually fell off in the end.
yeah.
Hmm.
But then the reason why they didn't.
You can't sit there and say that the reason they didn't do that is because it fell off. Well, hang on, how do you know Magnussen's front end plate of Magnussen's car wouldn't have fallen off? He was flagged and told to pit straight away. So why aren't they being consistent enough and saying, okay, Perez needs to pit to get that front wing changed to stop it from causing any problems? Because you don't know where that end plate is going to come off, and you don't know what sort of damage it's going to do behind him.
But like I said at the time, I think they would like I said, I think they were dealing with other incidents, and I think that they didn't notice it. Yes, the commentators will have said it, and it will have been shown on the TV, but the stewards
But the only
can't.
incident at the time that was going on would have been that first corner incident.
Yes, but the stewards cannot hear what the commentators are saying.
God, can you imagine that trying to run the race? You got Crofty down your ear all the time.
But
No offense, I do like the guy, but
they've still got all the cameras, and they'll be able to see it on screen. There's more than one steward.
Yeah, there's 3 stewards and dozens of camera angles.
So surely they'll be able to see exactly what everybody else is seeing, regardless of what's going on as well. They've had that one major incident on the first lap to deal with.
They lapsed. That's all you can say about it, is the stewards lapsed. The stewards failed to pick it up.
and here comes his FIA rant.
That's the thing. That's the only thing. The stewards failed to pick it up, and it lapsed.
But then they just dismiss it just like that. So it's saying, because they're Red Bull, we ain't going to do nothing for them. You know, nothing's going to happen because they are Red Bull. Therefore, they're going to get away with things. But because you're Haas, you're lower down, we're going to do this to you. You're the one who sit there and said about consistency.
I know I've said about
They're
consistency.
not being consistent. Exactly. So they're not being consistent. They're actually very. It seems as if because Red Bull's constructors championship, well done to them, that they can get away with things like that.
Like I said, I think I just think it was a lapse. They missed it. And it wasn't brought to the attention until the protests. So,
But if that's the case and it wasn't brought until the protest, why didn't they deal with it then?
they probably did. They didn't dismiss it straight away. They probably looked at stuff.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We don't know how the stewards review things.
Oh no, but do you see? But you understand what I'm saying? You're saying it that for a team like Cass to be penalised three times the same thing, but Red Bull do it, and it seems if just because of who they are and everything else that they can get away with it. If that end plate had fallen off and damaged another car or punched a car, would they still got away with it? Who
No.
knows?
No.
But the fact that it still actually fell onto the track, it's still because obviously he's still got cars behind him as it's come off.
Yeah.
So in theory, it is still dangerous. So it still should have been picked up straight away.
It should have been, but they didn't. So that's the FIA's fault. Oh, well, sorry, not the well, the steward's fault. Because don't think the stewards are linked with the FIA.
Well, obviously, because the FIA are the governing body, so there's got to be a link there somewhere.
They all actually sat in the same room, all near enough together. You have the stewards, and then you actually have the FIA behind them, sort of thing, the race director and everything else with them as well.
Well, it's a race director and then the three stewards. But it depends who was on the stewards. That's the thing.
Oh, it should make a difference who's on the stewards.
It depends which one's observant.
Well, they should all be.
Well, yeah.
You know,
the whole stewarding process needs a revision.
You know, they were going through saying about track limits. They were on page 7 or something like that at one point because of track limits. So they were obviously being observant with the track limits, but they didn't. Well, do you see what I'm saying? It's
like I say, stewards needs a revision. The steward panels need revising. Because like I said, they consist of...
All right, we'll do it. Fly us out there, we'll do it.
They consist of, ex-racing drivers. Because, as you know, Johnny Herbert has sat on that stewarding panel.
Well, there's always an ex-driver. That was the other thing they can give him a viewpoint.
Yeah, they give him a viewpoint.
What it's like from behind the wheel.
Yeah.
But the problem is with the stewards that they choose, and yes, they may be an ex-driver, have they driven a recent car? No. And
It depends. Some of the guys have actually been fairly recent drivers. I mean, obviously, what they also want to try and do is they don't want anybody who's too close now for fear of bias.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing. For them to judge it properly, the ex-driver should be allowed to run in that year's generation of car at the tracks. Maybe not one of the team's cars, but like, do you remember the F1 mock-up that they had?
That wasn't a real car.
No, but it, stick an engine in it, make it a real car, allow the stewards to drive that, then it's not risking.
Yeah, but that means you guys have to do that at every single track for every single one because it's different race. It's different stewards at every single race.
And also, what do you mean by driving? Because just driving around a track a couple of laps is a lot different to a race situation.
Yeah, but they should be driving.
I'm going to bet you watch stewards race before the actual race.
The ex-driver or whoever's the ex-driver on that stewarding panel should drive that car for a set number of laps. I don't know, 20 laps, something like that. Sprint or a sprint race distance of laps, and they should be looking at, while they're driving around, get to know the track limits and stuff like that.
Yeah, but track limits, regardless of whether they know where the track limits are, they know where the track limits are, and they have enough data there to say which cars are going into the track limit straight away.
Because they have.
That's not the main problem. The problem is when the cars get damaged, you can't simulate that sort of experience.
No.
Regardless of whether you stick in one of the latest cars or not, you can't sit there and say, okay, drive around this track with this bit damaged or this bit damaged, because it's not safe enough.
No, but like I said, they still should review it. It needs the. David, can you slightly move your mic? Because there was a bit of feedback there.
Sorry.
They should review the stewarding panel, and that's all I'm going to say on that.
But anyway, let's carry on the race. It was a pretty good race.
Yeah.
Till Bottas brought out the yellow flag, the safety car.
Well, no, it was a pretty standard race until Bottas decided to.
Till Bottas decided to park.
Yeah.
In the beach.
And in fashion more in line to British touring cars, the old joke that safety cars breed safety cars. Because briefly Alonso decided to try his hand at flying.
Well, the safety car, what was it? The safety car went in, and then the safety car came out again.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you reckon he just gunned it through the pit lane and straight out the other side?
Probably.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, though, was look, we always complain when we play the F1 game. Oh, the cars literally parked on the track. Stopped on track. It actually showed you the safety car stopped at the top.
Yeah, but it does that. It does it, and the safety car knows where the pack is and will start rolling well before the cars come round the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But it was just a bit of an example of, it stopped on track and then it actually stopped. But yeah, that was a scary sight. Alonso being in the air.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, fair. But I think if he was going a bit quicker, I mean, we have seen it before.
Danny Rick at Barcelona, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not Barcelona, no, the other one. The was a Spanish Grand Prix on the dock front.
Oh, Valencia.
That's the one.
Yeah.
But Danny Rick, he took out a DHL advertising board that was about 10 foot in the air.
But it's lucky he landed later than the service road.
As I said to you guys, though, I tell you what, let's give credit to Alpine that can make a car that can go in the air, bounce off a wall, and finish in the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we got them taken off him later, but for the sake of that argument, that car was able to finish 7th after having had a flying lesson.
Well, it wasn't. His entire car didn't go up, but his entire front did. But you heard how winded he was.
I think anybody'd be winded after that.
I mean, it was just... What happened to Stroll's car? Because 1 minute...
He got punches.
What happened to it? It got ran over.
No, but 1 minute you saw like a tyre go rolling.
Yeah, basically, I think one of his tyres basically, because the front wing caught the rear tyre, it's basically just shredded it.
Because you saw something roll down the track, and the next minute you saw the front sort of go along as they spun, and the next minute his tyre just went. It just went
Yeah.
in on itself.
I think his rear tyre just sort of shredded, and his front tyre just basically went through the impact, braking and everything else. It just gave up.
Yeah. And I think the tether must have failed as it hit the wall, or was it? Oh, I don't know if the entire wheel came off, or just the tyre.
Yeah. I mean, fair play to the drivers behind, though, for avoiding that.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, yeah, you saw, was it Mick Schumacher's view, where there's literally just a massive cloud of smoke?
Yeah.
And it's just.
It's not nice to see, you know.
Yeah, but why didn't they red flag it?
This is my thing. It should have been red flagged, especially with the amount of debris that was all over the track.
They obviously felt they could get it cleared away, and to be honest, I don't think we really heard of any problems of it, did we?
No. Well, I think Norris had some incident, picked up a bit of debris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few drivers did.
But I think with the pack slowed down as much as it did, with pit stops being used and things like that, it sort of gave them enough chance to get the stewards, or the marshals, sorry, out on track, be able to clear it up quicker.
Yeah.
Because obviously you saw it from a few drivers on board cams, you know, they were actually going slower than they needed to, because as soon as they got past that bit, they were speeding up again because of the debris that was still on track and everything
Was
else.
that where, wasn't it Norris picked up a penalty for not being within 10 car lengths?
Bloody.
No, it wasn't that Norris, it was Gasly.
Gasly again.
Gasly.
They should have had the sweeper out. Really. They should have red flagged it, cleared the debris, got the sweeper out, and made sure. But they didn't want to do that.
Which I can sort of understand, yeah. No, that's fine. But, I mean, there was plenty of time for them to stop it, clear it, and get back and still finish the whole race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he then lost the points place because of a penalty for his mirror falling off.
Which, if I'm right, there was a shot of it off.
You can actually see it flying off, yeah.
But way before that actually flying off, there was an onboard shot of his car from a replay.
You could
Way
see
before
it.
the accident, and it was really bad then.
Oh yeah.
So it must be knocked way beforehand.
It was just...
Well, I think because there was shots because Leclerc had similar incident at Japan, didn't he? Where he was actually holding the mirror.
Yeah.
At one point, going through 130R with one hand holding the mirror arm.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
You couldn't see nothing, but I'm still going to hold my mirror one-handed round this corner, you know.
And it's just, yeah, that Alpine was, you know, well and truly built.
Oh yeah.
But it could have been worse if he'd have hit that service road. It could have been worse. I noticed there was a comment about the recovery vehicles on track, but yes, it was under safety car. Yes, there was clear visibility. They were basically stressing that fact to stop the fans.
And also, based after last time, a warning now goes out to all drivers that a vehicle is on the track and where it is.
From the race director.
Yeah, it goes out to the drivers now to warn them.
Because a few drivers that had actually passed that same vehicle after, in the last race at Japan, had passed the recovery vehicle and still didn't know it was there until the race actually stopped. You know, that says something.
That was the other thing. Let's also remember that visibility was about 4,000 times better.
Oh yeah, it's nice to see a dry race, even if it was windy.
But yet again, this was only that would have never have been brought in unless if Japan hadn't happened the way it had this time, that would have never been brought in.
Yeah.
I know it is used in other. It's used in other not disciplines within Formula One, but other motor sports do it, don't they?
Yeah, once again, meant to mention before, Aussie supercars use where the FIA will warn. The FIA, the governing body, generally put message out to drivers. They have an override on all radio channels.
Yeah.
So they
IndyCar do it. Does
well, let's be honest,
do the
IndyCar's not difficult, is it? There's a safety car just round the left turn.
Yeah, but in NASCAR, it's even
NASCAR do it.
Yeah, that's with NASCAR. I think everybody knows that there's something going on because of the amount of smoke, and you can clearly see it from every time you go left.
Yeah.
Formula E does it. Do touring cars do it or not? David.
Not really, no, but British touring cars is a far smaller budget than a lot of these other sports. So they haven't really got the ability to do, because they don't have as advanced radio systems.
But yeah, all the other disciplines do something similar, but it shouldn't have taken Japan to have that happen. And hopefully that's not a one-off, that's not a one-off thing. Let's have that now from this race and going forward into next season. That needs to now be a regular thing.
Oh, I think it will be. I think it's a new ruling new thing that they put in now, where if a recovery vehicle is on track, all teams and drivers will be told straight away.
Yeah.
Regardless of weather conditions and things like that, it's something they put into place as of now.
But it's too fucking late.
Trial by error.
Trial by life.
Yeah.
More like.
It is a shame that, something like that to happen has now had to make this, this come into place is wrong. This should always be in place from the word go sort of thing, that as soon as vehicles on track, recovery vehicles on track, that all teams and drivers should be told straight away rather than a message pinging up something up in the system. Then, it should make a difference.
It should have been that communication should have been in place after Jules Bianchi. Not down the line. Not many, many, many years later.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the Jules Bianchi one, without taking it away from Jules Bianchi, what happened to him was terrible. It was a freak accident. But again, thankfully, and the weather conditions were horrendous, and the race should have been stopped way beforehand. Yeah. But it was a freak accident. That vehicle was reversing. Unfortunately, there's nothing. I think any race person that was driving that car, that was it. It would have been game over for them.
Well, yeah, but like the point we're making, it should have this whole message system should have been in place. I mean, okay, yeah, it wouldn't have applied when Grosjean had his fireball because there was nobody really near Grosjean at the time because he instantly red flagged it.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have applied there.
And there was no cars in a position where they would have had to go past him
No.
between where they were in the pit lane.
Yeah, but
Well, the only car that was in the way would have been the medical car, and lucky enough it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
very lucky. But it's just, the message that this whole relaying message about vehicles on track should have been in years ago, not just back end of the 22 season.
Oh yeah.
And
But let's actually appreciate that. Yeah, maybe not as quick as we'd like, but they are doing these things.
Yeah.
I mean, any movement is good movement, whether it's delayed or not.
and now they've finally shut up about the fucking jewelry. Fucking Jesus Christ. But yeah, who replaced Sebastian Vettel?
Who replaced Vettel? What do you mean?
Who's replacing him next year? Alonso.
No. Who replaced Vettel? Because that wasn't Vettel. He was driving like a fucking madman.
Okay, it was Ricky Bobby. We'll let you know.
Did you like Daniel Ricciardo's helmet?
Yeah, with the cougar on the side.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, it's just as you know, I make that reference quite a lot, so of course I was right. There was actually some. I can't believe I'm saying this sentence on the internet. Some really nice helmet designs this weekend.
There wasn't the last race as well. Some really nice ones then.
Well, I liked Seb Vettel's helmet of the last race. Was it the last race or was it Singapore?
I think it might be in Singapore. There was a lot more helmet designs because Norris had the Halo theme.
Hmm.
But then there was, which was the one that did it was Vettel that had the helmet makers design. Basically, he had a shipping package, but it was one of the helmet makers who he gets his racing helmets from. I can't remember if that was Singapore or if that was Japan. If you remember that one.
I honestly can't. I must admit, it's not something I overly pay attention to.
No.
Plus nowadays, these years, that people are changing their helmets every single race anyway.
Yeah, but no, the Danny Ricciardo helmet was nice.
Yeah, but I did see a picture of that. And Seb over the years has had some cracking ones, so I think he's had some really good designs.
He has. Is Alan still with us over there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's looking up helmets on the internet.
Probably.
Yeah, I think he had. It was plain white with blue around it, wasn't it?
Who?
Vessels.
Yeah.
Is that the one? It was a Lego one.
No. It was a thank you to one of the companies.
Yeah. Yeah, it was plain white one with the blue around it.
Yeah, but it was. I can't remember the company name now.
No, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to help you with that one.
I know. Is it Racing Specialists?
It's. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, Racing Specialists. It's the
Begins with an A.
yeah, ARAI.
Arai.
Yeah, RI.
I said there's two main helmet makers, Arai and Bell.
Yeah, and Arai. It was.
Because it's the Bell ones that can take the camera inside them these days, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that it was Singapore then, because
No, it was actually Japan.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, in Japan then. But yeah, no, it was they were interesting designs. And yeah, Vettel, like you said, Vettel and K-Mag towards the end
Oh,
of the race.
it was like a championship decider the way they were going at it for that last lap.
It was just ridiculous.
But he was like that a few laps beforehand, you know, especially around that, you know, that last corner, you know, towards the end. He was phenomenal around it.
It was just getting punchier. And it's a bloody shame he's retiring. It's an absolute shame, because if he could drive like that,
I think his retire is not based on his ability. He's probably another like Alonso who could. I think it's more. I think his ecological side is sort of catching up with him.
Vettel's
I mean,
retiring because he wants to go and deal with like the climate change and all that crap.
That's it. I mean, you watched the question time. I know you did after I said to you.
I did watch the question time,
And it was put straight to him there. You know, he's there preaching to the world about be green, yet he's flying around the world burning fuel in cars. Does that not make him a bit of a hypocrite? And he actually said, probably yes. I think that's a big part of his decision.
And the car, yeah, but the car hasn't been good for him.
No, and I was going to say, and the fact that I don't think world title number 5's coming anytime soon.
No.
I mean, he didn't even give this car a name. That's how. Because usually he had been naming his cars.
I mean, we say this every time after we've talked about Vettel, but he can always fall back on his acting career.
Oh, Jesus.
I still watch that periodically for just a cracking example.
It was some at the Dragon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Red Bull. Jesus. It was. Yeah. But, no, he.
Drive of the Dragon on Red Bull's Racing YouTube channel. If you've not seen it, folks, look it up. It is honestly worth the 5.5 minutes.
Worth a giggle.
Yeah, not only to watch a very young Sebastian Vettel not knowing how to act to save his life.
Yeah.
But still.
I mean, you've got to give Vettel credit. He was leading the race at one point.
Oh, yeah. If you give him a car, I think he's still got the pace. But like I say, the Aston Martin, apart from odd spells, just doesn't seem to have
gone anywhere.
Considering the end of the Racing Point era, and then even the first year of Aston Martin, it seemed to be doing well. It seemed to be pushing hard, and then they just seem to have gone backwards this year. They just got the design philosophy wrong.
Yeah, and it's hurt them. But but AlphaTauri's the same.
I think what got a lot of people off guard was Haas.
Yeah.
No one expected Haas to come from being at the very back to suddenly having good pace and be challenging for points.
Yeah. Well,
Mick was doing quite well, actually.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like every team this season has points. Now?
Jeez.
Every team this season has points.
I don't think Haas got any last year, did they?
No.
I seem to remember.
I mean, you think, though, even Latifi's got points, so you know something.
Is that not the adage that even a stop clock's right twice a day?
The only driver not to pick up points this season
The Hulk?
Is Hulk. That's it.
Yeah, that's because he's not done a foot. He's only done 2 races for 2 different teams, but
Yeah. I heard something about Hulkenberg, and I can't remember
no,
what.
he's not taking over from Liz Truss. That was
No,
a
no,
joke.
no.
Wow, you like that?
Yeah, no, I have actually seen that as well.
Yeah, I think it was F1. It was either F1 or Aston Martin that shared it.
And I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, Hulkenberg. Um. Oh, I need to find it. I'm gonna have to Google it and fact check it. Because I read it.
Thing is, I want to see if this Aston Martin will
Oh,
continue.
that was it. Hulkenberg was supposed to. Hassel looking at him for next season as a possible replacement for Mick.
It'd be
That's it,
2
'cause-
older guys, but you could actually see results coming out of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
K-Mag's proven.
Mick's still driving for his seat.
We know he's driving, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but like I say, it's the fact that Hulkenberg has been approached as a possible replacement.
Yeah, but what's every other team going to do if they need a driver then?
They're screwed. They'd have to get. Well, you've got Danny Ricciardo. That's the thing. You've got Danny Rick. Rent a reserve. Hey, maybe I should trademark that because that might be a good company.
Quick, get the website now. I'm going on 123 domains.
Rentareservef1driver.com.
Yeah. Just send it to all the team principals.
Although, did you all see the t-shirts? Or the t-shirts that a couple of fans were wearing?
No.
No.
It was a Gunther Steiner one.
Oh, I think I saw something about it. Well, it was like all the hats with cars on in Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to show it. When it ever works.
I've just sent a link.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I think I knew which one you meant, but
Oh, right, yeah. Basically, it's a picture of fans wearing like Gunther's face with a crown on, and
One that says
Yeah.
you look like a bunch of legends.
yeah, which is almost a play on what Conor Maud does with Gunther. And honestly, I don't know what. See, part of me wants Mick still at Haas, but then part of me wonders about maybe Hulkenberg or Danny Rick.
Mm.
But if Danny Rick's going as a reserve driver, then that's fair enough. But we've got what? Mexico, Brazil,
Abu Dhabi.
and Abu Dhabi left of this season. So Mick has 3 races left to prove himself.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
do you honestly think that he'll prove to keep him or not? Do you think Mick will prove it that he's worth keeping?
I want him to.
Yeah.
But trying to put on, like, if you were in the position of Gunther, if you've got him or Hulkenberg, I think previous records will say that Hulkenberg will be the safer bet. Now, it comes down to more than that. There's money involved, there's contracts, there's sponsorships.
Exactly.
But if it was based purely on performance, I'm afraid to say, unless Mick really pulls you out the bag,
Okay,
I
man.
think
think
it's seeing how he handles the car over the next 3 races. I think the biggest
Yeah.
races, obviously, yes, Abu Dhabi is a big race, but I think Mexico and Brazil are just as bigger races for any team.
And
Oh, yeah.
and Mexico, and Brazil is another anti-clockwise circuit.
Plus, you've got the sprint there as well. So, it's. I think the next 2 races are going to be the biggest ones.
Yeah. The thing is, all the championships are decided at this point, so the gloves are off in that regard. There's 1 or 2
Yeah.
lower places still to be.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was having a look at the standards, and if things go Hamilton's way, he could actually potentially finish second.
Well, I think Mercedes are still within out of second,
Hamilton?
aren't they?
You mean Perez?
So it's Hamilton, mate.
Hamilton's what? Hamilton's 6
Look at the points.
on 198 points. Charles Leclerc is on 267 points.
If he wins all 3 races,
He
then
would have
I
to-
think they
he would-
tie.
He would have to win all 3, win the bloody sprint, at a possibility to catch.
Like I said, if everything goes Hamilton's way,
It's not gonna.
I mean, mathematically it's possible, but mathematically a lot of things are possible.
yeah,
I say, mathematically Ferrari could have kept the constructors alive this weekend, but it was bloody unlikely.
Well, only on 1 car. But they would That's the thing. They would never have caught Red Bull.
I mean, the 2-point gap between Leclerc and Perez is tasty.
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Sainz is 16 behind Russell. That says a lot about this season, that Russell is managing to hold 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
that
Hamilton's
dog of a
only-
Mercedes.
Hamilton's only 4 points behind Sainz.
That says a lot about the year Sainz has had.
Yeah.
And then after that, you've got Norris on
Norris.
109.
And then
Which is a big gap there.
and then Ocon, then Alonso.
Yeah, we don't need the entire
But
line.
I mean, go down to K-Mag in 13th.
Hmm.
You've got Mick in 17th.
Got De Vries in 21st.
Well, yeah.
Well, he did 1 race.
And then you've got Nicholas Latifi at the bottom.
Well, no, you haven't. You've got De Vries underneath him.
No,
and
but you've
Hulkenberg.
got out of the active current drivers,
Yeah.
you've got Nicholas Latifi at the bottom.
To be fair, Albon's only got 2 more points than Latifi, considering we all said Albon's actually had a solid season.
Mm.
But Mick's
The
actually only
scoreboard doesn't show it.
Mick's only got 1 point less than Yuki and Stroll.
Yeah, but this is what I mean about AlphaTauri. Where the hell have they gone this season? They were on fire last year. They were good, but then all of a sudden,
Oh yeah, don't forget Gasly won a race in an AlphaTauri.
that's what I mean. But now they're they're sitting 9th
Yeah.
in the constructors, and they could go 8th or more because there's only 2 points difference between AlphaTauri and Haas
And Haas,
in
yeah.
the standings.
It's only 1 point between Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Because your top battle now is Alpine
And McLaren.
and McLaren.
Yeah.
That's your next battle. And then obviously you've got the likes of Alpha and Aston battling it out, and then Haas and AlphaTauri. No point counting Williams in this because it'll take a fucking
Yeah,
miracle.
they got no chance. They got no chance.
Um,
Unless they win the races, you know.
it'll take a fucking
They
miracle.
get first,
for them.
second. They get first and second, you know.
But yeah, the season's been. I know it's not over, but the season's been good. But it's also been shit.
And it's got plenty more racing to go.
Oh yeah.
With the next one being in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. Good track. Always a good track.
Oh yeah.
I would like Perez. I would like Perez to win it, just because.
Yeah, well, he got the podium last year. He got third last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
But
Thing
yeah,
is,
for him to win it in front of his own.
If they were racing 1-2 towards the end of the race, would they turn around to Verstappen and say, "Look, you've won it"?
No,
let
because
him through."
Max is going for the most wins in the season, isn't he?
But he's still got 2 more races to do it for him.
Yeah, but still, he's not going to let that one. If he can, that means he can not just beat it by 1; he can beat it by 3.
Who knows? We will see. But if Max was a team player, he would let Perez have his home Grand Prix. But we can't count Perez out because Perez. I mean, look at Monaco.
Oh yeah.
Did not
Oh,
expect that.
Anything can happen in the races, you know. We know that for a fact.
Oh yeah. When we sat here in the fortnight talking about Schumacher's first win.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be a turn for the books?
Oh aye.
But let's
Oh,
hope Carlos has a better race in Mexico. That's all I will say.
I thought he had a good race. I thought he raced Cota solidly, to be honest. With having started with the penalty, I think he had a solid race.
Sainz?
Carlos, sorry, I misheard that badly. Yeah. Carlos, he didn't do anything wrong. Really, he got taken out, and I'll stand by that.
What race were you watching?
Obviously a different one to you guys, don't worry.
I'm just sat here and I'm like, he's just.
Yeah,
misheard
for some reason I thought we were still talking about Perez. I must have missed you say Carlos.
No, I just basically said I hope Carlos has a better race.
Yeah,
in
I don't know
Mexico.
why. I think my
Yeah.
brain auto-corrected to Checo.
But time will tell next week.
Is there any closing remarks you two want to make?
Clearly not based on that
No.
performance.
No, I think I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last chance.
Why? What are you thinking? You've obviously got something on your brain.
Isn't it?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, makes sense.
In that case, then, folks, just to say, everyone, we'll see you in a fortnight's time for Mexico.
No,
Oh,
it's next week, actually.
Dickhead.
It's next week.
It's next week.
This week.
Yeah,
It's this weekend. It's this weekend. Yeah.
It's this weekend.
End of the month.
30th.
Where are we at? Shit, yeah. It is.
Fuck's sake.
Well, I clearly need sleep.
Yeah.
Clearly need something.
Then there's a 2-week gap to Brazil, then it's back to
Then-
back Brazil Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, yeah. It'll be next week. But
Yeah, but don't watch it for a week and then it'll be 2 weeks' time and I'll be right.
but it's another late race again, so that's not so bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to end this one here. So, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget, you can follow on Twitch. Would be much appreciated as we continue the journey to affiliate and partner. All links are in the description. And we shall see you next time. So until then.
Adios, amigos.
So long, folks.
Goodbye for now.